Hey everyone, in this video I want to show you guys something I've been working on, something I've been putting together for quite a long time, something I'm very excited about and I think can make a huge difference in how you work in Photoshop. So here it is. This is the Texturelabs Distressor panel. This is a plugin for Photoshop that I've just released, and it basically takes everything that I know and love about creating distressed logos and typography, or retro illustration treatments, vintage t-shirt effects, archival documents, and wraps them all into a single panel. So I'll give you a quick rundown on how it works. We'll create some custom distressed text. I'm gonna hit apply on the Distressor panel. That's gonna create a smart object layer and give us full control over the panel. So starting with 14 different styles of distress, and then we can adjust just about everything about the effects. So we can dial in how the outer contours look, how much the center of the shapes get worn away. We can give things an overall sort of faded ink transparency. So pretty straightforward to use, but it can create all kinds of different looks. This is a piece of type I created in Illustrator and just pasted into Photoshop. So we've got the black outlines on one layer and the color on another. So let's hit apply on the outline layer. And then I'm gonna switch it over to the spray style, bring down the scale a bit, turn up the shape distress, and then we could try out a few different random seeds. That's gonna randomize how the effect gets applied. And then I can also apply the same effect to the color layer, maybe change a few of these settings to give it a slightly different character. So as you can see, we can very quickly generate and experiment with all kinds of different looks depending on the details of the layer or the effect you're going for. And I'm using the panel in real time here, by the way. I kind of planned out what I was gonna work on for this video, but this thing is pretty fast, it's very responsive, and I gotta say this compared to building things manually or even using actions, it's just like a night and day difference. We could do this type as like an old weathered painted sign effect, or just as easily create a variation and give it more of a vintage printed look. And I can use something like hue saturation on this layer to change the color and continue to change the settings on the Distressor panel. This does remain a smart object with our filters applied over here. Then when it comes to things like illustrations, the process is pretty much the same. So what I've done here is just separated this artwork into a few different layers with the different colors and a layer with just the black. So let's take the black and just apply the Distressor with default settings. And that's not bad right out of the gate, but maybe we bring down the scale a little bit, give it a little bit more fade, and then we can try some different styles. And the newsprint style is kind of cool for this, but I think I'm gonna use this Perlin style, which gives it kind of a nice, smooth, inky distortion. Let's bring up the inner edge size. That's gonna push some of that worn away effect toward the middle of the shapes. And then for these color layers, I'm just gonna grab all three of these colors and hit apply. That's gonna convert them to a single smart object layer. And then maybe we can set this layer to something like multiply, or linear burn looks kind of nice. Now, generally I'd probably use the same distress style for different pieces of the same artwork for the color and for the black. But in this case, it might be cool to use the halftone style for the color, give it almost a little bit of that comic book printed style where the blacks are smoother printed lines and the colors have this kind of faded halftone texture. So we've got our before and after. So that's kind of the starting point with the Distressor panel. I just wanted to give you guys a quick couple of examples. Like I mentioned, this is a Photoshop plugin. It works in Photoshop 2022 and above, and it's available now. I'll put a link below. Installing it is as easy as double-clicking on the CCX file, which will install through Creative Cloud. Picking up the plugin also helps support this channel and the Texturelabs project. It's just me here, so I genuinely appreciate your support. I'm still adding free textures to the library and looking forward to creating more content for this channel. Hope you'll check out and enjoy the Distressor panel. Thanks for watching, hope you're well, and I will see you soon.